solution to it. And then, like, I don't know, I wouldn't talk to Theo Vaughn or I wouldn't talk to Joe Rogan. I don't need to.
Would you not talk to them just because of their politics, or have you heard things about them that you like? I don't like this guy.
No, it's not necessarily even I wouldn't talk to them, but I mean, like, the truth is, like, I don't respect them, and especially if I don't respect their stand-up comedy, then I go, well, what do I even care? I certainly don't respect you as a piercing journalist. So if I don't even like your stand-up, then whatever.
Yeah,
you're not a peer.
Stand-up is a taste thing. So anyone who doesn't like stand-up, but do you not
taste the thing? But I respect. I can respect someone who I hate if they're a great comic. I believe in the integrity of my comedic taste.
But do you not respect Rogan and Theo, at least for like Theo gave a funny Trump interview. Like, he gave the most different Trump interview that anyone has done, and he was totally himself in the interview.
That's fine. He's a good interviewer. He's an entertaining personality. I just don't think Trump's a good force to America. I think it's hurt culture. I think it's hurt people. I think it hurts queer people. It's people get mistreated, and so I just don't like the cozying up. I think we've become way too cozy with politicians if we want to maintain that badge of being a comedian. I think politicians should be like, I don't know if I want to do the comedy podcast. And I think it's become a little too much like, you got to get on Rogan. You should be scared to go on a comedian's podcast if you're a politician or a pope.
Obama broke that mold.
I agree. And I had a friend, I remember when he did Between
Zach,
Two Ferns, and my friend was like, I don't really like this. And I remember being like, shut up.
It was funny.
Shut up.
It was funny. Zach was really funny when he did it. How does it feel to be the last black president? The balls to say that to Obama.
So
it was fucking
good.
Hilarious.
His with Hillary Clinton was good too.
Yeah.
I mean, the joke writing was great on that show.
So they all kind of do it. It's like a thing where
and
they
I don't
all
like it.
do
I don't like it on that side either. I think like it's got to be. I think there just needs to be a recalibration in this country.
I don't know. I think here's what I like about it. I hate the media so much. I like that they've lost a lot of their ability to control what people are thinking. Like, I love Joe, and I've seen plenty of things he said that I'm like, nah, that's not how I feel. And I've seen plenty of things he said, I go, yeah, that makes sense to me. So it's a kind of an issue by issue thing. I'll agree or not agree. But I think that having that choice is really good. And you look at the media, and they've kind of come off as these arbiters of what's true and what's not true.
Yeah.
And that's where they became hateable. So anything that is really ruining their ability to do that makes me happy.
But the thing is, like, is it ruining their ability, or is it just shifting to a different paradigm? Because it's like, you got Barry Weiss and you got, 3 billionaires in charge of now all the media organizations. There's a new movie about Sam Altman, the AI guy, that Amazon no longer wants to acquire because AI invested into them. So they got them. They got Barry Weiss, who's practically owned by the Ellisons and whatever. And now Joe Rogan keeps having on people that are more sympathetic to that worldview. So it's not that they're necessarily fracturing a belief in a media system. It's creating like a kind of more skewed new version that everyone's listening to.
Well, Rogan did ask Kamala, and he offered her any time.
That's fine.
She turned it down.
That's fine, but he's having on like the Sam Altmans and the Mark Zuckerbergs and some billionaire people and the Elon Musks that I'm like, this is not shaking up the paradigm. This is bolstering the richest people there is.
But they're also interesting people to hear talk. Like when we all have a choice when we hear somebody talk. Do I believe this or do I not believe this? And I don't think for other people. So if Kamala had done his show, maybe I would have liked her more. Maybe I wouldn't have liked her more.
Yeah.
But it doesn't convince me usually either way. I've usually come to my conclusion a few different sources. And the difference, just to answer your question about the media operated under the kind of umbrella of getting of being telling the truth and of having the motives of truth, whereas they were not being honest about being the entertainment and ratings driven thing.
Educate Joe Rogan is all I know is that there's not a degree. Why if he really loves a thing, go to school for it.
But I don't think you need to do that just to have a conversation about it. He's
for
not
sure.
He's literally.
It's a lot of conversations about it.
But that's what his job is. Like,
what's his job?
To talk and to be entertaining.
Sure.
He's a comedian and he has a podcast, and that really is all it is. And he's just doing his job.
There's a lot of conjectures. You won't see me if I went on every single podcast and every conversation I had was about like, you should get the vaccine. I should probably do more research about it.
But he probably did do the research. I have to say that, like,
Sure.
and by the way, and I'm vaccinated, so I didn't take his advice on that. I can listen to Joe say something, and I agree with that. or I don't agree with that. But I don't put anybody in the position of saying like, well, I know the difference, but other people wouldn't.
But when is this entertainment? Because now it feels like we're talking about news. Now it feels like we're just talking about news. And then I go back to like, okay, well, news should have higher standards than entertainment.
But that obviously is entertainment because people are listening to it. Like there really is something to be said that when millions of people are going to something and listening to it, there is an entertaining factor to it. If all of a sudden people are like, wow, that's a guy who I like what he says. I like listening to this guy talk. And I've found enough inconsistency in the way the media reports things to not trust them anymore. Maybe people trust him more because he's willing to have people on he doesn't like.
Sure, a lot of people listen to the Pope, and I don't necessarily agree that I should follow his scientific beliefs. I think people go to the thing that they like and then they follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't have to. 100% agree.
Course.
You do not have to follow anybody's scientific beliefs. But that's all it is somebody giving an opinion on scientific beliefs. You can follow it. You cannot follow it. There's nothing wrong with that.
But if you found out that millions of people were listening to you about your scientific views, do you think that maybe you might be more careful before you expressed, I don't know, a view you saw on some article you saw in the New York Post that day?
If they were listening to me because they knew I was coming from an honest place of saying this is what I think, then I would continue to do what I was doing that got them listening to me in the first place. I think that if all of a sudden 1 million people are listening to me and they know that I'm just kind of giving an opinion on something I've seen or something I've experienced or something I've looked into, then I'm obligated just to keep doing the same thing and let them come to their own conclusions.
Sure. I think you could. I'm just saying you don't. I just think part of this is not necessarily that I think what they're doing is inherently wrong. You can talk about whatever shit you want. It's just so many people listen that I think it changes the context of what you're doing. It's the same like Spider-Man quote of great power, great responsibility. It's just like, if you do look out one day and a bunch of people are taking your advice, I'm going to go, well, I'm going to be a lot more careful when I give something as serious as what vaccinations your child should take.
But yes, of course. But there are people who would listen to this and say, yeah, but look at all of the people that are coming to the conclusion you're saying, but on the opposite side of it, that are going, this guy's saying exactly what I think is right, and this guy is giving exactly the... I don't want to say advice.
I just want to encourage people not to go to this for that advice. That's all. The same way I wouldn't want them to go to a priest for advice on to deal with their alcoholism if the priest is going to talk about, spirits and devil and don't masturbate. Like, I just think... It's again, I don't really care about the person. It's more about look at society. Why are you going to this for this? If my dad was getting a heart surgery and said he was listening to Joe Rogan about what to prep for the surgery, I'd go, please, Father, please go to the doctor.
But I think with anything like that, we have to assume that the responsibility is on them to do that. Of course, I would always. It
is unfortunately with vaccines. It's like their actions affect people. I wish everything were that easy. I wish it were.
But it is. People just choose differently. Like I listen to Joe, and I listen to a lot of people. And I went to talk to my doctor and talked to another doctor and decided to get the vaccine. I was able to...
Those are the 3 people. So you went 3... Those are your 3
No, I'm saying I heard many different people talking about it. I'm saying I did hear what Rogan said.
Yeah.
I didn't go to him first to go, well, let's see. I just heard what he said. But it didn't... Sometimes it would affect the way you make a decision. Sometimes it wouldn't affect the way you make a decision. So I give everybody that credit. I went to my doctor and I went to another doctor I knew, and I listened to what they said.
Yeah.
So anybody who is not doing that fucking person has to speak and answer for themselves. It's not my job to think for them and go, well, the person they're listening to is bad. It's their job to be adults like I'm an adult and fucking go to your doctor.
I agree, and I think that's why you are a more responsible entertainer and a better stand-up comedian.
But I'm not a more responsible entertainer. Like, I'm just doing what feels organic to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, but you're more thoughtful.
I don't know.
It is.
Believe me, I would like to agree with you, because any compliment to me I would like to take. But I don't think it's that. I think that you might agree with me a little bit more. So that maybe
no, but what you're saying is I go to multiple people. I go to multiple sources, including many that are trained in the field of what I'm doing. I think that's intelligent.
And I'm not even just taking up for Joe, but I know him, and I would say he does the same thing. He has people on. He has doctors on. He has scientists on. And he talks to these people. And like they have 3-hour conversations. Maybe some are disagreeable. I don't know. But the fact is he does also do the same thing. So it's my responsibility to make decisions like an intelligent adult. If it agrees with him, great. If it doesn't agree with him, that's fine too. But he's like the go-to guy because he's the biggest guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think podcasters have any different responsibility. I think the media has a responsibility, and I think
we are the
they
media
have
now.
But I'm.
I was finally able to catch up on Jim Norton's podcast, and well, he had on this guy. I'm not even going to attempt his name. It's some Italian name, Luigi Mangione or something. But they got into an argument and a debate over Joe Rogan's comedy and his influence. So, you can agree that Joe Rogan's comedy, especially at this point, is god awful. But the bigger argument over his influence, this guy, by the way, this was a lot longer than what I showed here. So if you want to check out the entire thing, go check out Jim Norton's podcast on his YouTube channel. Trust me, I had to cut out a lot of this. But this guy kind of contradicted himself. Basically, he was like, comedians shouldn't interview politicians, but then brought up the story of his friend talking to, what was it, like Mark Maron or Zach Galifianakis talking to Obama, and his friend was complaining about it. He was like, no, that's good. Basically, this guy holds a position, comedians shouldn't interview politicians unless it's politicians he likes. Basically, the team sports thing. And they do this thing with Rogan to where people give him this reverence as to what he says matters because so many people, I guess, listen to him. Like if you go to Joe Rogan's subreddit, oh my God. And it's not even like a subreddit that turns on someone, which is usually the case. It's not like the Fighter and the Kid subreddit. It's all just a bunch of lefties on Joe Rogan's subreddit, and it's all about politics. That's all it's about. It's a bunch of lefties. Almost to the point, it's like, why are you even here? But they're lefties, so they're so woke, they can't go to any leftist subreddit and say any edgy or funny things because they'll get banned from it. So, like, they're disaffected lefties, kinda, but they're still ultimately lefties. That's why they hang out at that subreddit. But the whole thing about Joe Rogan and he shouldn't talk to these people. Yes, nobody should listen to Joe Rogan, but that's on people. I mean, I think Joe Rogan has said himself, I'm an idiot, I'm just a comedian, don't listen to me. Like, if anyone takes what Joe Rogan says is gospel, they're an idiot. But at the same time, the people who complain about people listening to Joe Rogan are idiots too. Who cares? It's Joe Rogan. Like, he's talking about UFOs and elk meat. Yeah, he got into the whole COVID thing, and you can agree with him or not agree with him, but they complain. Lots of people listen to him. So, by the way, these are the same people who are complaining about that, who are like, we need everybody voting. Okay, well, you want everybody to vote, even people not from this country, but you don't want people to be able to listen to Joe Rogan. It's kind of like you're saying the voting public is stupid. So, like, they agree on a lot of stuff that they don't think they agree on. The whole thing is just so stupid. And ultimately, I agree with Jim Norton, who really hates the regular media. You know that from his O&A days. What is with the blinking, Jimmy? My God. He's got too much, semen from his wife in him. Love the Nikki. I remember his wife tried becoming like an influencer, and I guess she got trolled too hard and quit. She had like a meltdown one day. I did a video about it. That was like over a year ago at this point. But love Jim Norton's lady, boy, man, wife, man, bear, pig. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you agree with?